A while ago, I was scrolling some memes on Google Plus and I came across this one. I had a good laugh because I found it extremely relatable. Now, I do see a lot of memes I could relate to. Some of them even makes me question my lifestyle, but this one just got me because I experienced something similar before. I started thinking of why I didn't take a picture of it so I could make a meme out of it, just like how the guy in the picture did. What a shame. Anyway, since I couldn't take a picture of it back then, I'll just make an animated story out of it now. So here's what happened. My mother gave me 1,000 rupees to deposit into my account, so I went to the bank to deposit the money. Inside there was a deposit machine. It works just like an ATM, but instead of giving you money, it takes it away. Of course, it saves it into your account. So I stood in front of the machine to deposit the money, but it was like this the last time I came here about a month ago. Guess they never fixed it, huh? Oh well, guess I'll go upstairs then. As I climbed up the stairs, I saw a huge numbers of people there. I knew it was gonna take a while, but it's not like I had anything else to do, so I was willing to wait. I went to the first counter and took my token number. My token number was NC336, and the numbers at the announcement screen was at NC221, followed by some other numbers. I went at the back and stood there since all the seats were occupied, but thankfully about 20 minutes later, someone in front of me had his numbers called out, so he left and I quickly took his place before someone else does. I ended up waiting for more than 2 hours in total, and as my number got closer, I started to get excited, but as my luck would have it, things didn't go well for me. Ticket number NC335 to counter 4. I looked at the screen and got confused because the next number to be announced was NC337. So I did some calculations, and if my math is right, NC336 should have come after NC335. So what's going on here? I thought they might have made some mistakes, so I just waited for another 10 minutes hoping they'll come back to my number, but I thought of talking to the person responsible for issuing the token number, but he wasn't in the counter, plus there were 7 more people waiting for him to get back to probably get the token number as well. I just went to counter 1 and tried to deposit the money with my unannounced token number, but she outright rejected it. I tried to explain to her about my issue, but she simply refused to hear it. Now, I understand that she was simply following the procedure she was instructed to follow, and that her grumpy behavior was simply due to the stress she went through after serving hundreds of people throughout the day, but still, damn! I had no choice but to sort out the problem with the token distributor who just happened to have returned from God knows where. But the problem with being an introvert at a time like this can really be daunting. Everyone around me seemed like they were busy, and I didn't feel like causing a ruckus as it'll only annoy them. I also thought they might not believe me because 15 minutes had already passed ever since my number went unannounced, and they might think that I strayed outside and therefore missed my number. All this thought made me feel uneasy, so I just decided to leave. I was such a wuss. If something like this were to happen to me today, I would fight to the death if I have to. But back then, I was pretty much what you can expect from a shy introvert guy. So I just went home, still pissed off about what I had just experienced, and with myself for not doing anything about it. I started thinking of all the good things I should have said to them, but realizing there was nothing much I could do about it now, I waited for 10 days since the bank is usually crowded at the beginning of the month and the numbers slowly go down by the middle and it is at its thinnest toward the end. At least that's what I've observed anyway. So 10 days later I went back to the bank to deposit the money and hang on. So you waited 10 days just so you don't have to wait 2 hours at an overcrowded bank? What kind of person are you? Who are you? Since the deposit machine was still not working, I went upstairs and took a token number. Thankfully, there were a lot less people as compared to last time. I sat down on the same seat and patiently waited for my number. This time, I was mentally prepared to put up a fight. I had already rehearsed what I'll say to them hundreds of times in my mind. At this point, I was basically waiting for them to mess up so I can go and argue with them. But ticket number NC118, get your to counter 4. Oh, that's me. So I went to counter 4 and deposited the money there. Honestly, I was disappointed because things went smoothly for me. I was so prepared to put up a fight, but I just couldn't get the chance to do that. Man, the bank sure was lucky. If they messed up like last time, I would have caused all hell to break loose. Probably.